Fallout New Vegas. The best Fallout game because everything a person could ever want. Gambling, drugs, and hookers. But there's more to the New Vegas than, well, New Vegas. The game has 4 DLCs, each with their own quests and storylines that we can follow. But the DLC that we care about, we can find if we head to the northeast of New Vegas, where we can find ourselves a cave labeled as the entrance to the Northern Passage. And heading in, we can meet a man named Jed Masterson, who's offering us a job. And if we inquire more about it, he'll tell us that the job is to search for a town by the name of New Canaan in the Zion Valley and establish a trade network. Simple enough. We can talk to a couple of other people interested in taking on the job. The first of which is a man named Ricky, who's, to be very honest, a complete dick. We are also going to travel with a woman named Stella, with an interesting past. But after introductions, we can head back to Jed and tell him we're ready to go, and off we go. We can enter the Zion Canyon, where the others talk about how there's no way back from where we came. But we're all off together, and we're ready to start our new adventure, and
I don't deserve this. My people are worse.
yeah, everyone's dead. But now we can talk about the character this video is actually about. And the story of that character starts at a little cave to the east of where we were just ambushed. It's called Fallen Rock Cave, and before we enter, we can notice handprints everywhere on the front. And if we ask our companion that we're traveling with about them, he'll say how they mark an area the local tribe deems as supernatural. But ignoring that warning, we can head through and... Alright, so this place is rigged to the roof with traps, whether that be trip mines, shotgun traps, or bear traps. But if we carefully make our way down, then we can reach a small living area. It's a bit strange and it's cozy enough. It has an old campfire, workbench, and what looks to be a working terminal, which if we walk up to, we can open in. We can immediately see there's 2 log entries on the terminal. One labeled as year 2077 and the other labeled as year 2078. And if we click on it, we can read the first log. October 28th. 5 days on foot. Still can't sleep. Outside it's like nothing happened. Sky looks wrong, that's all. Hiked back to the overturned National Guard truck near Tokerville, maybe? After blisters heal, maybe. Looks like USGS team was researching something here in this cave. Cleared out when bombs fell. Left equipment behind. Probably thought they had families to run back to. October 29th. Char must have said this out loud 1,000 times walking here. Maybe writing it will feel more like you heard. You were right. I was north of Spanish Fork. Took the 77 along Provo Bay to steer clear of town. Would have been home in about an hour. Engine died. Truck just stopped. So did the Chrysler in the other lane. I knew right away. First nuke hit South Lake City inside a minute. I was looking south, lucky me. Flash behind me was so bright that the world looked on fire. Old couple from the Chrysler started screaming they couldn't see. I didn't watch you die, Char. It saved my eyes. Counted 12 more flashes over the next 7 minutes. Ground shook each time. 18 seconds after another. When nothing hit for half an hour, took a look. Globe of fire where you and Alex died. I didn't kid myself. I knew what happened. Grabbed my pack and rifle, saw to the old couple. Sat them up against their car, let them hold each other and comfort each other. I told them I was going to get help, everything would be okay. 1 bullet through both heads. Instant. 5-day hike to the canyon. Okay, so this first log tells us a lot about this person. Seems like he was on his way back home from somewhere when the bombs originally hit, and his family was in the city when it got turned into a whole hellhole, so he knew his family was dead. He seems to fully understand what he's doing, though, as he doesn't kid himself at all about his wife and child's death. And he even mercy kills the old blind couple next to him because he knows they won't make it in this new world. But we need to read the next log. Year 2078, January 1st. Happy New Year. 2 months in cave. Still lethal outside. Don't get it. In the Army, they said it'd be 2 to 4 weeks before the fallout cleared. Less than a month's water supply left. Been mopping condensation off cave walls, wringing sugar into bottles, trading calories for H2O at this point. Food stocks are holding, though. Thanks, USGS. If there was even a chance I'd see the two of you again, I'd run outside. January 10th. Sounded like a windstorm out there for 2 days. Radiation down 500. What happened? January 15th. Took a peek. Snow. It glows green. January 28th. The radiation's low enough I could risk short exposure outside. More importantly, the cave stream's now drinkable if I use rad drugs. January 30th. There's nothing alive out there. Okay, so about 2 months or so has passed since the last log, and his water supply was running dangerously low. And we get some more context about him, because it says how he was apparently in the Army, probably why he was so grizzled and unfazed by the original blast. The radiation also appears to be going down, some too, but his final line of how nothing is alive outside is very chilling to say the least. But that's the last log in this cave. That doesn't mean that's the last of his logs, though, because if we head more westward, we can find another cave, which is marked by the similar handprints outside. And, of course, inside again, there's many, many booby traps. But we can also swim through a small underwater region and reach a door to another little small encampment, assumingly belonging to him. This time it seems much more developed with a wooden structure and storage. But we can of course spot another computer, which we can open. We can see 3 entries this time: year 2083, 2084, and 2095. Seems we skipped about 5 years since the last entry, but we can open the oldest of the entries and read. May 5th. The comeback goes on. Add prickly pears to the list of survivors with honey mesquite and banana yucca. Odd nodules / mutations on them, but it's still safe to eat. Harvesting, oh so careful. Never take more than a 5th. My mouth waters every time I'm about to eat something that isn't from a can. May 7th. Clouds of those stinking flies near fallen tree. I call them nappers. Little flashes in the cloud. Something dragonfly sized that zaps them midair then scoops them up. Something new. May 19th. Bighorn sheep. A family. Ram, ewe, and little one. Fucking goddamn it. May 20th. The sheep were different. Brawny. The ewe had curved horns just like the rams. Seems some tiny lizards, but this is the first time seeing animals that big. Fingers crossed that 5-10 years of breeding before fresh meat, hides, and horns. I know it's time to go back, Car, when winter's past. Okay, so after about 5 years, fauna has fully returned to Zion Valley, with it being seemingly livable once again. But our protagonist thinks about time he goes back and lays his family to rest. We can continue and read the log for 2084. June 14th, 2084. I just got back. Tired. Good scrounging along the way. Ended up dragging back a cart full of stuff. Right tomorrow. For now, sleep. June 15th. Departed April 10th. The walk to Salt Lake City took 15 days. Would have been 7 to 9 back in the old days, but had to circle pockets of radiation, forage along the way. Don't know what I was thinking. I'd imagine I'd find my house, dig through the rubble, find something. Your bones, I hoped, and little nuts would have buried them. Here in Zion, maybe. Salt Lake City is mostly craters, warped steel grinders where high-rises sat, mounds of bricks. Never found our house. Didn't even find our street. What wasn't a crater was scorched clean. Want to believe it was fast. A flash. Both of you vaporized. Lies to make me feel better. I'll never know. Which part of the city got hit first? Northeast, and you both died in a blink. Farther away, you burned alive, screaming. Or the blast and broken glass and bits of brick and wood splinters shredding you like hamburger. Look at it, coward, and listen. Don't turn away. Face it. If you had been a brave, lucky man, you would have found a spot and blown your brains out. But not you. You took your time walking back, made a shopping trip of it. Scrounger. The truck was still there on 77, north of the Spanish Fork. The Chrysler's too, but no signs of the old couple's bones. Outside Neffy, I caught a trail. 3 men. Tracks heading towards the fountain green. Thought about following but didn't. Stupid fantasy of friends. More likely just cannibals. June 20th. Took 2 days to build door and electrify it. No soliciting, assholes. Home sweet fucking home. Okay, so he finally went back home, but the entire city was either a warped crater or scorched completely clean. He's also showing to be a bit suicidal at this point, with wishing how he had ended it all, but he's also incredibly lonely. He thought about following other people's tracks, making friends, but it was probably for the better that he didn't. We can continue on to his next log, which is a whole 11 years after this one, and we can open it and read. September 20th, 2095. I count 28 of them. 11 adult males, 8 females, 9 children aged 2 to 10. Some rifles and pistols in bad repair. Old world clothes. Ratty. September 22nd. Got close enough last night to hear them talk. Spanish, I think, from Mexico. Heard them say paradiso a bunch. I think that means paradise. Here to stay then. Seem harmless. Seem. October 5th. The one I call Maria is pregnant. I think the father is Jose, but she spends a lot of time with Pablo too. October 7th. Pedro ran out to pee in the stream and would have seen me if he had looked to his left. Too close. Need to give them space. November 10th. Jose broke his leg chasing a bighorn. Too far from camp for them to hear. Told myself to leave it, but I couldn't. 300 yards from their camp, I did my best Jose screaming imitation until a bunch of them came looking, then strung them along to the crest where they could hear the real Jose. Probably useless. Compound fracture. Broke the skin. November 11th. Infection. So many damn words, nearly the same. Think I'd be fluent at this point. But anyway, Jose's leg has got it, so he's going to die. Nature for you. Of course, they're giving prayer a try. November 12th. Left a bottle of antibiotics in a rock outside their camp last night. They thank God. Dios, of course. As though that asshole saw fit to burn the world, but still cared enough to leave some medicine on a rock. November 15th. Jose will always limp, but otherwise he'll be okay. Good deed for the month. Will they make it through the winter? That's the final log for this cave, but it seems as though he's now taking the role of protector for this small group of Hispanic people who have chosen to live in the valley. His cynicism doesn't change, though, with him seemingly despising the idea of God at this point, which makes sense considering everything he's lost up to this point. But we can find more of his logs, so we head north, and we find the third cave with the handprint markings still outside. And as per usual, yeah, it's still covered in booby traps like the others. But if we continue forward, we can find a cave water pool. After thinking for a second, we can dive into it and eventually come out and see another one of his makeshift homes. But things are as per usual, so we head over to the computer and open it. Okay, so it looks like the year 2096 is split into 2 separate parts, and there are only 2 entries. So I guess let's just open 2096 part 1 and read. February 11th. Fuckers killed all the men. I think they would have taken the women alive, but Maria and Selena opened fire, and some of the others went for their guns, so they shot them down, and some of the kids with them. If only I could have warned them. February 12th. Alina and Carmen and 5 children are still alive, being kept in a pen. There are more than 100 of these assholes in blue suits. Every suit says 22 on the back. Why? Armed to the teeth with submachine guns and pistols. Estimate 60% male. Everyone seems to follow the dark-haired guy, but can't get close enough to tell. Assholes are disciplined. Patrols, sentries, they mean business. Say I go in at night and get the women and children out, but where to next? But I have to get them out. Have to. February 13th. Recon during night, well-organized sentries along most approaches, but streams not covered. Are they sick? Lots of coughing fits. Tuberculosis, maybe? Women and children still in pen. We'll try to infiltrate by stream tomorrow night. February 14th. They ate them. February 19th. Ambush along Riverside Trail. 6 males killed. Heard their coughing a mile away. Used grenades to booby-trap bodies. Kept half-secured 6 SMGs, 500 rounds, 10mm, 6 frags. February 20th. Ambush along Riverside Trail. 2 males died checking bodies. Killed 2 more with rifle. Shot 1 through calf and let asshole crawl off to spread the message. Coughed like I shot him through the lungs. February 23rd. Ambush half-mile east of Coal Pits Wash. 8 males killed. Okay, so a lot's happened, obviously. The group that he's been protecting got attacked by a strange group who cough a lot and all have matching blue jumpsuits with the number 22 on them. And even after the fight, they ate the survivors. Our protagonist is also going full commando mode, though, because he's starting to do continuous ambushes to take out good portions of the strange group's fighters. I suppose we should open the second part, though. February 28th. Ambush in the Narrows. 6 males killed. Took a 10mm through the thigh. Steel jacket. Missed femoral artery. Lucky. Used tourniquet to make sure no blood spattered on rocks back to cave. Have set traps all along the entrance passage. But if they find me, it will be a matter of time. Still. 24 confirmed kills in 10 days equals at least 1/3 of their combat force. Not bad for an old man. March 2nd. Lucky, 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 lucky. Patrol was small. 3 men. Screaming woke me. Point man caught under deadfall. Panic fire ricocheted in the cave and almost hit me. Crawled forward and killed them all with my SMGs. Nearly used frags. Stupid. Finger and pen when remember ricochets. Leaving at once. No other patrols in the area, but they'll be searching Narrows for these 3. Taking as much food as I can drag with me and heading to Cave South. Okay, so he's continuing his war path of vengeance on these people, but he sustained a little damage, and they found his cave. So, he's moving south, and that's exactly where we're moving to. Instead of our usual booby traps in this cave, we can find various spore monsters or vicious plants. It's very different from every cave we've been to so far, and they're kind of a pain to take out. But making our way forward and up a ledge, we can find the next little hideout of this guy that we've been tracking. And as per usual, his terminal's there, which we can open up. Okay, 3 locks this time. I guess let's start off with the lock for 2097. January 13th. The coffers are gone. Finally. All 34 that still lived. They ate their dead for strike, then struck out southeast. Victory. 10 months of killing and all I feel is cold. They deserved every goddamn bit of it. January 17th. Thought I was dreaming, but the screams are real. For a moment, thought they tricked me, just pretending to leave Zion. They sent a patrol to track me down, but the screams were a woman's. Edged around the corner passageway to have a look. 1 Volter, ankle deep in bear trap. Leveled my SMG to fire, but the way she was crying stopped me. How she screamed when she saw me. Been their boogeyman for a long time. Her name's Sylvie. Claims she ran away from them. Calls them evil people, children of the devil. Turns out they were sick after all. Something they caught in the vault they lived in. She never came down with it. Yet. So help me. I wound up being her nurse. January 18th. Her story matches what I've learned from my interrogations last year, but according to her, let's just say, it was very bad to be a woman in that group. So, when they left, she slipped away. She knows next to nothing about living outside a vault. Says she wants to learn. He finally drove them all off, only to end up caring for one? Interesting, I guess. Let's skip 3 years and look at 2100's log. September 9th. Never been so scared in my life. Canada wasn't scary, just sickening, the criminality of it. The end of the world wasn't scary. When I knew you and Alex were dead, I didn't have anything left to be scared about. I just went on for some reason. I wasn't scared fighting the Volters. It was like I kept daring them to finish me. When I killed them, I think it was the closest I could have felt to happy in years. Sylvie is pregnant, and I'm terrified. Ridiculous old man. A father again at 46. In this world, she's so excited and so trusting. Says it's God's will that we have this child. Like nothing can go wrong. You see, Char, she doesn't know about you and Alex. Never told her. Almost did sometimes, but what you and I had, it seemed wrong to share it. More like an old man not wanting his young wife to know how he failed the one who came before her. Hiking into Tokerville for medical books and supplies. This will be done right. I'm sorry, Char. I hope you can forgive me. He got her pregnant, and it seems like he hasn't told her about his past either. We need to read the 2101 log and see what happens. March 5th. The baby was a breach. Would have been a son. Michael. Did my best to turn him. Failed. Must have done cesarean too late. Had to put Sylvie out and she never woke up. Buried them south of the Narrows. Well, this time I was by their side. So much better. I think I can finally do it. Blow my brains out all over this goddamn cave. Yeesh, he's lost everything again. He's lost a wife and a son twice now. And he ends off saying how he can finally end himself. But there's one last terminal from him. If we head way up to the very north, we can find his final cave. Just like the last cave we found, it's filled with strange spore creatures. But also like the last cave, if we kill them and head up, we can find his hideout and enter, where we see the final computer. We can open it up and see his last 3 logs. Year 2108, 2113, and 2123. I guess let's read the first. August 22nd. 10 sets of tracks, 1/2 mile northeast of Canyon entrance. Barefoot? August 23rd. Saw them through scope. Corpses walking around. Finally gone crazy. Dementia maybe? August 24th. I'm not crazy. They're real. God damn it, they are real. Rushed me the moment they saw me, snarling like animals. They looked like corpses, but didn't smell rotted. I'll be putting them out of their misery. Doing for them what I could never do for myself. September 3rd. The last of them. All gone. Okay, so he encountered feral ghouls for the first time, but he put them all down. Just good he didn't take his own life like he planned to in the last log. I guess let's read 2113. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, you useless old dinosaur. Happy birthday to me. Happy 60th. What do you get a man who is everything? A bottle of whiskey and a 12-gouge slug through the roof of the mouth. Woohoo! Come now, what do I have to prove to myself? That I've lived long enough? I'm a shriveled old man. White beard. Seen enough sunrises and sunsets. Saw the big sunset. Been hanging on through the long night for 36 years now. Ridiculous. Not kidding myself into thinking there's anything on the other side of this. Fine. Things weren't bad before I was born. Char and Alex, Sylvie and Michael who could have been. Thoughts of the beloved dead before dying. Goodbye, Zion. February 6th. Didn't fucking do it. Coward as per usual. Maybe 2 bottles next year. Okay, so the societal ideation has returned, but there's one last log, and it's 10 years in the future. So, let's just read. April 25th. 24 of them. Half boys, half girls. Youngest is 8 maybe. Oldest is 13 to 14. Dirty and scrawny. They've been on foot a long time. Children's Crusade. Struck camp on nearly the same spot as Los Mexicanos 30 years and a lifetime ago. I spent 2 nights listening to them. They're English, literate. One of them reads stories while the little one fall asleep. They escaped someplace called the school, but can't figure out where it was. When they want a little one to behave, they tell him to stop or the principal will get you. Principal better not show up or I'll blow his goddamn head off. I can still shoot straight. And that's the final log. Or maybe not. You see, if we head to the east and we climb a big rocky place called the Red Gate, then we could find, well, him. Here's his final resting place, overlooking the beauty of Zion. But he has one last log on him. Year 2124, January 2nd. I've been leaving notes for them and gifts. They liked the books, started with the stories and moved on to weapons, manuals, medical books, and more practical stuff. In the notes, well, it's just embarrassing. Almost like those cards people used to give each other. Everything's sweet and loving. I tell them to read and to learn and to make the most of their new home. I tell them that I'm giving Zion as a gift to make up for all the sorrows of their lives so far and all the sorrows man has visited upon man. I tell them to be kind to each other and modest. I tell them never to hurt each other, but that if someone else comes along and tried to hurt them, to strike back with righteous anger, stuff like that. I sign every note the Father because, well, just because. January 18th. How did I mention that I'm dying? Mine's still sharp, lungs are the problem. Might be cancer. Cough's been getting worse for months. Finally there's blood in it. Getting harder to visit my little friends. Breath so short. I've given away most of what I own. They'll find the rest in the caves when they get a little older. I don't want them to find me though. The Father is a broke down old man. Disappointment. It's time. I don't want another birthday. January 23rd. It's cold enough that I won't last long on the high mound up next to Red Gate. I think I've got enough breath left in me to make it. I'll just lie down and stare at the sky. Feels right. I hope they'll do well. I hope no harm comes to them from within or without. Did my best to prepare them with the last few notes. Said something kind about each of them, what makes each one special. Told them the Father was pleased with their kind nature, and that it would be up to them to handle things on their own from now on. That I'd be silent but still watching and caring. Lying then. No, yes. Lied to you, Char and Alex and Sylvie. Told you I'd be with you forever, but I wouldn't go back and unsay it once if I could. What was the point of it all? So many failures, but I never forgot your face, or little nuts, or, sorry, Sylvie's. You used to say that happened after a while, but never did to me. Maybe the only point of all this living was to keep those pictures in my head going for as long as I could. It was the only life I could give you. Not a day went by without. It wasn't choice. I chose to die again and again. Well, my body just never did. Body had its own drive. The little ones will need it. Species will need it if we continue. That blind drive onward. I wish them well. It's been a gift to me, at the end of it all, to behold innocence. Goodbye, Zion. Randall Dean Clark. February 5th, 2053. January 2124. And his story ends, but his memory lives on. Those kids he cared for and referred to himself as the father to later became the local peaceful tribe of the area. He became almost like a protector figure to them, helped them to keep them strong even in their greatest troubles. We also finally learned what his name is. He is Randall Dean Clark, and he's the survivalist, and he's the father. And even if his life was one of constant sorrow, in the end it came to mean something to so many. Thank you for watching the video if you made it all the way here. This video gets like 20 likes, I'd say. I'll make more Fallout content because that'll prove you guys enjoy it. So maybe throw me that cheeky like and that cheeky subscribe. But let's move to my outro song and end this video.
Hey everybody, this is my outro song. I hope that you do sing along. I'm the Moth Maker, and I make content. Please give me money. I need money. Please subscribe. I don't have a dime. I have really, really bad rhymes. Please subscribe. This is the outro song. The outro song. The outro song. This is the Moth Maker outro song. Please subscribe. I don't have a dime. If you give me a little bit of your time, maybe subscribe and give me a dime. A dime, a dime, a dime, a rhyme. I got bars from Mars. Girls go to Jupiter to get more stupider. Boys go to Mars to get more bars. That's what I'm saying. My name's not Lars. My name is Mothmaker, and I take time to make these videos, and I spit bars, rhymes, and hymes, and lots of things. So please subscribe and have a good time. Bye.